welcome everyone to a new episode of Remote Possibilities. And I have a super exciting new guest with me today, Michal Hochman, who's super inspiring. She is all about manifesting, and especially through body awareness and body health. And she has a really cool story that popped out to me on Facebook, and even how she talks, like her life story, like she's been a maven of following her heart and her dream and thinking big, doing big, and she's literally living a lifestyle of travel and doing what she loves, empowering others, and just like really standing in abundance and celebrating life. I'm so excited to have you, Michal, and to be able to pick your brain. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, we had like an instant soul connection, I think, over one post. And I'm
Yes.
so happy we made it happen. I'm all settled in now and we can talk and chat.
Yes, yes. So why don't you start by sharing just a little bit more about your dream business that you already have right now so that the audience can better meet you?
Yes, I'd love to. So I'm live from Copenhagen right now. I just fell in love with this place and moved here and later fell in love with a man. And I work with clients all over the world. Like Astrid said, my angle is getting into the most amazing place in your body, because I believe that once you're in this state of your highest health, your mind is at its best place and you can really connect with spirituality in a very powerful way. So I work with women who are spiritual, who are entrepreneurs, and they're able to manifest everything they want in their lives via up-leveling their bodies and minds.
So awesome and so needed. I love it. I'm so glad we connected, and I can't wait to dig deeper. So can you share a little bit before we dig into your expertise and your best gems of how to make this happen? Can you share a bit of your backstory, how you got to where you're at today? Anything in your life that led you to your dream business, or a shift that happened, maybe a story that inspired you to make it happen, whatever you want to share.
Yes, definitely. So my clients are really like how I was before I really unlocked my highest health. I was a very spiritual child. I was very, very intuitive, very sensitive. But like so many other spiritual beings, my health was really suboptimal. So I was always tired. I was always dealing with weight and body image issues, and just nothing major, but just not feeling really vibrantly alive and energized and healthy. And there were a series of things that sort of led me here. So I had somewhat of like a spiritual awakening at a young age, which really was me tapping into the law of attraction, but to the outside world, I was like going crazy. I was tapping into intuition and spirit at a whole nother level, but I wasn't grounded in my body in a way that I was able to sustain it and handle it. Which led to antidepressants and anti-anxiety medicine, and really like a lowered state of mind, like brain wellness. And later the journey it came to a head when I had gained a ton of weight because of this medicine. My skin was really off. And I sort of had this awakening of actually a vision I had as a child of how I should be feeding myself. It was like a full download I got as a child.
Nice.
And started adding in a ton of trainings and knowledge with health experts everywhere, and yoga certification and the Iyengar method. And I basically just stepped into this body for the first time. So feeling amazing, feeling healthy, and it changed everything. So I'm here to empower people to really realize that once you do this, once you step into the state, your life basically begins.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, and thank you so much for sharing so openly your spiritual awakening. How inspiring that is. Because I remember when I wasn't awake, quote unquote, I was just like, the rational minded. And it hasn't been that long ago for me that I actually found that connection of like, there's more. And oh my gosh, I have inner hunches. And they make things so much easier once I start listening to those, and my heart, and actually also my body. And for me, it was like going outside. That was like a first step to just like rejuvenating, and how much that opened up for me. So I'm so excited to have you to dig deeper in this subject. And I would love to, I had one question come up as you were talking. That bigger vision of yours, I'm really curious, so that listeners can kind of tune into that. Like, what compelled you to just go for it? Because I mean, you realized, yeah, you'll feel better, but like, what was the ultimate driver? There's like why you wanted to do this before you knew what's behind the curtain. Were you just curious, or did you have like a passion of just feeling better? What was it for you?
You mean when I started like getting into the whole health field?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
It's interesting because I was like an 18-year-old or 17-year-old when I really got into it. And it was purely superficial. I just wanted to
Mhm.
look better.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And, it's sort of, it can be a portal because it turns out that they go hand in hand. Like,
Uh-huh.
if you want to be in love with yourself and how you look, you want
Yeah.
that. Nothing superficial about that. But when you really actualize your health, you look your best. You look amazing.
Yes.
So I'm really happy it
Yes.
actually came from that.
Oh my gosh, I love it how you started, and you don't even have to have a big vision. So you went on the quest of feeling better, and then you found all this amazing additional benefits where you can actually really powerfully turn any challenge into possibility. Basically, you're like your best self now. Yes, awesome. So can you share a story of like, I would love to hear a before and after. It's like before you were in the state, when you faced challenges, like how it was different, and like now, how is your life different since you made this transformation and are so like aligned and feeling better? Like, do you have an example of something that suddenly became super easy, or you had bigger things happen?
Yeah, so it was literally like a rebirthing. It was a totally new paradigm, which many of my clients say that there's like a rebirthing. It's a new life. But just to give like a little example of something
Yeah.
like really tangible, travel is a huge part of my life. I love
Mhm.
traveling. I moved to a country that's very culturally different from my own. I'm like, I'm in a beautiful Scandinavian, blonde, blue-eyed place, and I feel really at home.
Yes.
And I think one of the biggest things that shifted for me was I used to feel like I had to hide in a room.
Mhm.
I felt really uncomfortable, like, oh, what am I doing with my hands? I always had to hold something at a party or something like that. Really out of touch with myself. And the combination of aligning my body with yoga and this full protocol that I have, I'm comfortable everywhere, which
Mhm.
means that I get to travel the world. I get to feel at home everywhere, which is
That's
really
awesome.
wonderful. Yeah, it's great for connecting with people, but also feeling like the world is your oyster and you can do whatever you want.
Yes, yes. Can you? I love that. That sounds so amazing. And I know that's possible for anyone who's watching or listening right now as well. You live the perfect example of like a lifestyle entrepreneur, soulpreneur, traveler, just doing what you love anywhere. Um, I would love to also have an example, and I know that's like a big part of what you do, this whole premise of manifesting whatever you dream of and growing your dream business. Like, you really stepped into this role of helping others to do that. And can you share like how you tie the two together, how you're the body having this wellness and feeling amazing, how that helps you once you're so connected to really manifest big things? Share
Yes,
whatever comes up.
definitely. I love talking about that. Absolutely. So I think the main thing to understand is that until you really get into this optimal place in your body, which is literally physically, it's alignment in your body as well as the whole protocol of how you're caring for yourself, your mind is in a very different place. So, you might not really see your vision of what you truly desire. There could be some scarcity and fear incorporated in that.
Mhm.
And you might not realize everything is amazing right now. You're not feeling amazing right now, which is so essential. You have to live as if to create what you want. You have to embody that feeling. And you also might not realize that the world is a very safe, bountiful place. The universe is supported and abundant, and that it's really possible and it can be so easy to manifest what you want. So it affects everything. And I might want to go into that a little bit more, because I would say when you're not on this protocol, when you're not in this optimal state of health, there's brain fog going on. And there's a lack of contentment. There's like that monkey mind that, we speak about in the yoga world. When you get into this place, you have this inner bliss and contentment, which is what we all desire, right? It's also why we want to manifest these external things. And from that place, you can really feel yourself already having what you desire. And that, those of you who are familiar with the law of attraction, living as if and realizing that it's possible it's completely essential for magnetizing your vision into reality.
I love that. And I want to give an example and bounce that off of you to hear your opinion on that. What I'm getting from what you're saying is one of the experiences that we'll have if we have this really feel-good body, it's basically creating the abundance and the luxury lifestyle with our body first. So we feel like we're living our dream, even if the money isn't flowing yet or whatever. Like we can feel in our skin like a millionaire, or like just amazing, empowered and free, and then that is the first step, and then we have the right energy to draw those things to us as we move forward, right?
Exactly. You're in that higher mind place to do that.
Yes, I love it. And of course, then all the tangible benefits of actually being more energized and like actually taking better action and while feeling better. So yes, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Great stuff. Do you want to share, like, if a client comes to you and we want to talk about like turning challenges into possibility, like from your expertise, I would love to tap into like, how do they come to you or know that, I have this dream business, like I'm not feeling great in my body, but like how do they know, when is the best time for them to come to you, and what's the first step that they can do to start shifting?
That's a really good question. What the women I'm working with, there's definitely a pattern. And it's women who are actually really have been successful in their businesses to some extent, whether it's just deciding to leave their job and they've gotten their first clients. There's some women who are just completely successful, like big coaches. And the next step for them, while they have this amazing business, is, I kind of think of it as a trifecta, is having the love and the health. So, and I was actually just speaking about it on my page, that when you have that, you really have it all, right? You have the dream body that you want, you feel amazing and happy, you have love and relationships, and you have this bountiful, the money and the fulfillment that comes from following your dream. So I would say the place to come is being ready to have it all, and being ready to receive. Actually, that's a big thing, is to realize it's possible and to receive the entire vision of your best life.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And I want to like reiterate that for everyone listening and watching right now. So what I'm hearing for you is like, you may already be successful, but things may feel hard for you, and like you may burn out, you may actually forget about self-care entirely. Been there, done that. Or you just may like ignore your body, have negative like self-talk or whatever, but like you may superficially feel like, oh yeah, I'm successful, I got this. but something is missing for you, and like you're not feeling good in your skin, or you're just like I'm hearing like you're not filled from the heart, right? Because the spiritual and the body is like this big piece that I also see a lot of entrepreneurs who are in that hustle mindset don't have. So is that the trifecta that you're talking about, right? The spirit, the body,
Right.
and
Right. And also, yeah, and bringing in, it's an interesting thing that happens because it's always part of someone's vision is like the soulmate love, the love and
uh,
fulfillment in that area.
yeah.
And that always happens in the program. It's a part of manifestation of the whole vision. Um, yeah. So being ready to have it all, to realize you're worthy of having it all and that it's possible. I would say that's the place to be at.
You know what? This whole worthy thing, I'm so glad you're bringing that up, because I feel that is such a big nugget for so many of us. And like I personally like still have that step by step, you step into that. Yes, I'm worthy to doing this or to treating myself to that. And even if I just think of like, taking a break or going like buy a face mask for yourself or whatever, give me like something little, like if we hold ourselves back, between the thought of, oh, that sounds amazing and sounds like it will make me feel good, and we're drawn to it, but then we hold ourselves back, that's already like a sign, right, that we're not allowing ourselves, there's like something there that we're holding ourselves back from having it all while we can.
Exactly.
How do you work with clients to help them shift that? I'm curious. Do you want to share a bit deeper, like your methodologies or a secret tip? Anything you want to share?
So it's funny because I just spoke about this on my live. So you guys can also check that out on my page.
Nice.
To summarize it shortly, there's a few things that go on, and there's some people have all of them or they have one. The issue is of limiting your pleasure, feeling like there's a certain amount of pleasure that you're worthy of having. So sometimes I'll have a client that for 1 week didn't do what her homework was for the week or
Uh-huh.
something like
Yep.
that. And really what that comes from is not feeling worthy or feeling ready to have the next height of pleasure. With spiritual beings, it's also, wow, I'm doing so amazing. Other people around me aren't. So there's like a scarcity paradigm that if I have it all, do other people have less, right? So there's a
Yeah.
feeling of needing to get down to the lower level instead of elevate everyone and model having it all.
Yes.
So I think the awareness is key. And once you have that awareness, actually a client and I just did a ceremony today of releasing that. You can
Nice.
release that. And it's absolutely, it changes everything. It's one of those subconscious blocks that when you release it, you can really receive at a higher level.
I love this. And I love that we're talking about all these soulful and inner game sort of things. Even though, the official outer premise of my podcast is to talk about how to create turn challenges into possibilities so you can have your dream business. I just want to quickly reiterate like why this is so important. And I've experienced this in my own life and business. It's like if we're not fully fulfilled from the inside, we are working way harder than we have to. We are holding ourselves back from the full life experience that Michal, you are like experiencing and role modeling this so nicely. Like you are the perfect role model to show that you can have it all. You can follow your dream, and you can feel amazing in your skin, and you can have big pocket change or big abundance, however you want to frame it. And it's okay, and you're inspiring and empowering others, and it's good, right? Like, so whatever stands in our way of like those inner voices that contradict that in whatever shape or form, those are like those little floaty thoughts that hold us back from getting into our greatness. And like, how big is that invisible obstacle, right? If we think about it, that's literally us standing in our way of possibility. If we just that awareness, I love that you brought that up. Just noticing.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how do you what tip would you give? Let's shift into a tip space of like, if
Yeah.
somebody's listening in and they're like, yeah, okay, so yeah, I notice like sometimes I have like a bad inner critic going on or whatever, but like I I remember like sometimes it's hard to even notice that, or to realize like there is something else I can do. Like what's your tip to like start shifting something? What can they do on their own before they start working with you?
Yeah. I would say always when there's an issue in the mind that you want to shift, approach the body first.
Oh, nice.
So anything that you can do to really upgrade the current state in your body, it can be, like you said, I'm a big fan of spending time in nature.
Hmm.
I always talk about earthing, like sitting in the earth, going for a walk, which the Japanese call a forest bath.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, which I know you go for a lot of forest baths by your house.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, connecting with nature, and you'll see that, I always give the example of when there's something on your mind, like there's something you're mulling over and you want to sort out, and then there's usually like an idea like, oh, let me go for a run, right? And you
Hmm.
come back from the run and suddenly your mind is in a different place.
Yes.
So whatever that is for you, but it's definitely something that you have to, there's like a next level, but if you have something currently that has been helping you, going into nature, practicing yoga, really nourishing your body, that is where you can start to shift the mind.
I love that. I love that. And that's a lot of times like we don't even realize that. We just I remember like for for me that's still sometimes the case when like, oh, I should do more exercise, and then we kind of dismiss it and we don't see the big why behind it. And it's yeah, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
Mind changing, universe opening possibility.
Exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
and this should, I'm glad you raised that because the should is really interesting.
mhm.
When you approach it as an act of self love,
Yeah.
you say, I can do whatever I want, right? There's that choice, but you get to exercise, you get to pay
Yes.
attention to your body. It's a privilege, it's an act of self love. That resistance goes away, and then motivation isn't even an issue.
Oh my gosh, boom. That is so awesome. What a great inspiration for anybody. We get to do something that makes us feel amazing and opens us to possibility. I love that inspiration. You just gave me an amazing reframe to actually go to the studio again soon.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I love it. Thank you. Very cool. So, let's see, like, where did something come up for you that you absolutely wanted to share while on the show? Because we're running close towards the end already, and I want to make sure that the last question, I want to make it like the best one for our listeners and for you. So I can ask you another question, or but if anything comes up that you, yeah.
Yes, ask away. That's perfect.
Okay, so let's see. So I would then ask you, especially if for those who have a big dream, let's tune into that. Let's say you are in a space where like you realize, okay, so I have I have this first step that I can take, and maybe it's going to the fitness studio or treating me to something where I get to do something that makes me feel good. So I have that, but then I also have the big dream of this big possibility that you are already role modeling and living, and that can seem like such a big gap for us, right? Like when you're at the beginning. I would love to hear your perspective on how make that gap seem smaller. Like, like what helped you get there? Like your biggest learning, maybe, in like from before to where you're at now, where you are living this lifestyle. What was your biggest shift or turning point
That's a very good
or
question.
tip?
So it's interesting because I find that people either have a really big strength in the wealth manifestation or the body. And I've
Mm-hmm.
always been very in touch with abundance.
Mm-hmm.
So this level of travel and abundance that I'm living in, that I'm so blessed and grateful for, is not really new to me. It's just a paradigm that I've been in. But in terms of the body, and that aspect and the love and all of that, that was where my work was.
Yeah.
in relationships. So to me, when you say a big vision, it absolutely includes doing what your passion is on this earth.
Mhm. Mhm.
And of course, having the income and the abundance as a result so that you can have the full life. And the full life
Yes.
is the health, it's the spirituality, and it's the love, it's your soulmate, it's soul connections, it's community, it's the whole
Yeah.
picture. So in terms of steps, like you said, absolutely starting with what you know about your body and then being ready to really upgrade it, which
Yes.
upgrades your mind. And from there, suddenly it's like a quantum leaping thing. It doesn't seem so crazy. You can
Mhm.
be in that place of the grand vision. And that's how it works. You magnetize it. You really bring it in rather than it being something that you're ambitious about or
Yes.
you have to work towards, which we're really taught in this sort of
Yes.
linear
Yes.
masculine.
I
Mm-hmm.
love that you spotted that and highlighted that that's actually an illusion, that it has to be hard to turn challenges into possibility. And I love that you wrapped it up to what we discussed earlier, that when you have that good feeling space of your body where you really you're treating yourself to a great body experience, then you pretty much already experience the life of your dreams from your heart and your body within, wherever you at. And that's already here with you. So that doesn't have to be far out there, right? And you can get there step by step. So I love this new paradigm of how to step into your dream and fulfill your life with the missing bits, whatever that is, whether it's the money or the love or the body. Like you can experience it all, and the body can be a first step into this full abundance. Amazing life. I love it, Michal. Thank you so much. Let's give people the access to where they can learn more about you and your amazing work. Where can they best find you?
Definitely. So you can find me on my Facebook page. I'll be sharing this page. Um, and I do intuitive readings, one-on-one calls, basically, and that's where we discuss if we're a fit to work together,
Yes.
and what your grand vision is and how we will make it happen via your body. So that's on my website. It's Michal, Michal G Hochman.com. And you can apply for your one-on-one call there and connect.
Nice. I totally love it. This is so amazing. Thank you so much, Michal. And everyone who hasn't met her yet, check out her Facebook page. That's actually, she has amazing posts. That's how I found you. I super resonated with your stories. So much inspiration there. Even just reading a post can shift you into a new mind space of possibility. So thanks again for having been on the show. And I'm sure we will be in touch again soon with other adventures. Until then, all the best, Michal. And yeah, talk to you soon. Thank
Definitely.
you.
Bye,
Mwah.
everyone.
Bye. Bye bye.